Welcome to the You Heard podcast, your go-to for Miami Hurricanes football. Ben, Joe, Poke, and CB break down recruiting, hot topics, and game day action.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like,
what are we talking about, son?
Get into it, talk. I felt
Keeping it a buck.
Let me close these curtains real quick.
You heard. You see it. We all took naps today. You can tell it in our face immediately.
Just got up, baby. I had a good nap.
Naps are a must, man. What are you talking about? At our age, they're essential.
Hey, Poke, and the weather's kind of shitty down here too for us.
Oh, so it's been gross all week. But
it's been disgusting, man. So it's been lovely.
The old man in me is going to come out because we really needed it. We really needed the rain.
Yeah.
Oh, my grass was so crunchy.
I was looking at that weather like, my grass is looking dryish, boy.
For real.
Yeah, I was having old man conversations with myself. I was like, when are we gonna get some rain? This is ridiculous. It's way too dry out here.
You see Ben walking out his front door, hands on his hips, looking at his watch and looking up at the sky.
They said it was 40% chance. That doesn't look like 40. Old people shit. Shout out to Lex. Shout out to Bucks. The Plenty Gaming in the building. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all every Sunday and Wednesday at 6. You see it, man. It's my guys, Poke and Joey. How y'all doing, man? Joe, how you doing?
Excellent, man. Beautiful.
Woke
up. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Man.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Happy Mother's Day.
All the lovely ladies out there, man. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Joe, I think you're on the wrong mic again. Yeah, I'm saying, I know you just woke up, but I just want to before we continue, I want to make sure we all hear you making valid.
I don't change anything on here.
But we know who does. Yo, and she's watching right now. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to her as well, by the way.
This is wicked work, man.
There we go.
I don't touch nothing on here.
Ooh, nice and crispy now.
Goodness gracious.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast. It is hosted by your friends Ben, Joe, CB sometimes, and Poke. We are here every Sunday and Wednesday at 6. Make sure to leave a review wherever you get your podcast. And now that we got that out of the way, Joe, are you awake now? I'm
still waiting for the dude that said CB talk too much to show up in here, man. Don't talk about CB.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, we didn't plan this, by the way. We all just did this. This was completely organic. All real. We don't tell each other what to say. We don't tell each other what to wear. Appreciate y'all, man. Poke, how'd the grill turn out?
Excellent. But it's nice to be back. It felt like I haven't been on here in a minute. But
it's been when you miss a show, yo, like it feels like
forever. But yeah, finally kicked whatever crud I had this past week, man. It was awful. Felt like absolute dog shit the whole week, but finally kicked it and feeling much better. Much better.
Moonshine
for Lex. 100% Lex. We are definitely crazy. We are definitely doing the shine for the ND game.
I gotta figure out how I'm getting there, man. That's gonna be a wild weekend.
Take the PJ.
I gotta figure it out, champ. I gotta figure it out.
I might need to extend my hotel stay a day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's no way. It's an 8:00 game. What you gonna drive back overnight? That's crazy.
Oh no. We're definitely staying the next day for sure.
Yeah. I gotta
figure something out.
Yeah, that's gonna be wild. Look,
it's 8:00. That's good. It's 8:00, so I can. Yeah,
you got plenty of time.
Yeah,
you got plenty of time.
The good thing is it's a holiday on Monday, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Before we get started, shout out to Jay Freeman. Look, there was a horrific car accident yesterday. Our deepest condolences to the lives lost. This is not just we know about it, obviously, because there was a Miami player involved, Mr. Darius Hayes. We hope he's healing up, man. But to the families that are impacted by this. I always say it, man, because look, I drive kind of for a living, mostly for. Every time you get in that vehicle, man, you don't know what's out there for you, and every minute isn't guaranteed, man. So, prayers to those who are impacted by this. We hope. I mean, there's nothing, man. There's nothing we can really say, but just it's horrible, man. And we hope everybody finds peace when they can and tries to remember the good moments, man. Because any moment at any place you're at, it can be your last, man. So just try to make the best of it. What y'all got?
No, absolutely, 100% agree. It's just one of those things where you count your blessings every day. You don't know which day is going to hold for you. So we, of course, send out our thoughts and prayers for not only AD but also for the other family that was involved as well. So,
yep, same thing, man. Precious life is precious, man. So. Again, man, all this senseless fighting, bickering, beefing with whoever you beefing with, family-wise, whatever, man. Just life, man. Life is not promised. We don't know if we're gonna make it till tomorrow, man. So, hug your loved ones, cherish these moments because they could be gone, instantly. So,
exactly, man, exactly. Yeah, man, it's rough, man. Look, there's no perfect way to segue from that, but like again, from the pod, from all of us, from everybody in the Canes community, and just us as people, man, we hope y'all get better. We hope you doing better, and just appreciate every moment. All right, I don't know how to segue from that, yo. I really don't. This is so heavy.
There's really no good segue from something like that, but I mean,
no, there isn't, man. So we'll go.
We got a few things to talk about.
We got a few things to talk about. We did have a couple questions. Shout out to Gregory King on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? That asked us some questions. Poke, did you have that pulled up? Because I forgot to take a screenshot of it.
No, but I can real quick. While I'm doing that, why don't we talk about our newest portal edition?
While we doing that, man, we got a new commit, man. We got a new commit, man.
Yeah.
We got a new linebacker. Mohamed Toure.
Is it Toure or Toure?
If you remember, Toure, I think that's what I've heard. But if you guys remember, he busted Miami's ass in a bowl game a couple years ago. So if you just remember that, just know what it is. Flying all around the field, man, making plays. So yeah, that's him. That's him.
Look, this is what I think we talked about it before spring portal. Like, Coach DC Corey Heatherman is gonna get one of his guys, right? Like the last linebacker coach brought in Jalen Alderman. I was like, he's gonna get one. I think it was gonna be Mohamed Toure coming off. Let's keep it about 2 ACL injuries in 3 years. When he's playing, he's a monster. That's unquestioned. But we talked about it, Joe, on Wednesday before he, signed his paperwork. Like, look, injuries in that room. That's gonna be tough to sell it. But again, like, this is a guy that Coach Heatherman, and I'm sure he passed all the physicals that he needed to make sure he was good. But Coach Heatherman got his linebacker, man, and most likely our middle linebacker for game 1 against Notre Dame.
Was it the same ACL? Do we know that? Was it? It was the same one.
I think it was the same one.
I think twice, it's the same one. Yeah.
Damn, boy.
So I mean,
they put a bionic ACL in there.
Something for real.
I'll go to the same doctor is what I would do. I would not go to that. You know what I'm saying? I would not go to that same doctor for real if I'm keeping it a book.
No. So I mean, it comes down to it's pretty low risk, but you're getting a high reward if it pans out. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
He's never played middle though, so I'm curious about that. He's been like an edge outside linebacker.
I did see him coming off the edge a lot.
Yeah,
watching the highlights and stuff, you see him coming off the edge quite a bit.
Yeah, so curious about that part of it, and maybe I know Wes has been working at middle too. Maybe they put Wes in the middle and let him come off the edge. Who knows? He's taller than Wes. I don't know how much weight-wise. I think he's like 6'2", 230, 240. He's not, he's not Chase Smith big, you know what I mean? But
not a lot of people are, Joe. Not a lot of people just in history
He's
aren't
not an iRobot or anything.
exactly. He's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not out there. Let me see. Pull up his stats. His height and weight. He's 6'2", 236.
Yeah.
And we don't know how
How
accurate
real
that is. But definitely a good pickup, man. If it pans out like Polk said, that's the main thing.
Yeah, they really don't update this, Joe. I just looked up Chase Smith. It says Chase Smith is 210. Chase Smith.
They got high school weights.
They got high school.
Yeah, so that's not accurate at all.
No,
at all. All right, that immediately made me question every weight I've ever seen. I've seen Chase Smith. That's not 210. That's, in no world is that 210.
No, not now.
So,
not now.
No, not now. No, not now.
Maybe his shoulders or something.
Yeah, maybe when we first walked into campus, what I'm saying, fresh out of high school, that's it. So yeah, maybe West at the middle. I mean, we'll get into that at a later date once we have, kind of like the roster fully locked down and talk about what we expect the first 22 to be. But yeah, he came off the edge. To me, he just kind of screams middle linebacker for his size. You know what I'm saying? Just reminds me of kind of like a bigger Kiko. You know what I'm saying? The physicality to have that smash mouth middle linebacker. But it is what it is with that. I don't know.
Yeah, he can run. He can run sideline to sideline too, man. And yeah, if it works out, it works out, man. But
So Joe knows Sabo. Yep. Now we did. That's our second linebacker. We did pick up Kabon Bonner earlier. So the room got, solidified. So that's what we needed. We knew we needed a couple more bodies.
Well, because we really only had 2 veteran pieces in there, right? Yeah. Well, 3 if you count Chase Smith. So
if you count that,
West, Chase, and Popo, the rest were all new guys.
Yeah,
freshmen, right?
Freshmen or sophomores?
Year, right?
Freshmen or sophomore. Yeah. So
Bobby Pruitt, sophomore,
definitely does a lot to solidify the room. So
yeah, so I was thinking about that just on the linebacker room. You have to think about the linebackers that have left have to be replaced, right?
Right.
You only got one linebacker this past class, one linebacker, I think 1 or 2 linebackers last year. You lost Marcellus Pulliam last offseason, so that number has to be replaced. You know what I'm saying? That body, as far as that sense, that's like how I approached my perception of this portal class of this season is like, yo, you've lost numbers over the years. We lost 21 transferred out, 18 came in. Those numbers have to be replaced. It's just you still got to have the numbers. The numbers are still the numbers. Might not have got the stars you wanted, you know what I mean? But we don't want what happened last year in the secondary to ever happen again. So we got 100 of them, and we still got 2 more coming in the fall, right? 1 more.
One more Bryce, I think.
Bryce is still coming.
Should be just him, yeah.
Yeah. So
and in that linebacker room, I think Gavin Nix was supposed to be in this class. He was supposed to be in
100% should have
been. I think he was absolutely counted in this class.
Yes.
So
yeah.
And didn't get the late flip of a TJ Alford. You know what I mean? Yeah. He stuck with Ohio State. So
we got Ezekiel Marcelin and Kellen Wiley.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So. And one, yeah. So it needed to be changed. So that you wanted 3. So now you made up for one year guy in Motore and a younger player that, you know what I'm saying, signed when his number was called. Also the part that doesn't get talked about, right? Yes, he was played out of position, moved in as a safety, but when Kamal Bonner took that spot, he didn't just look lost. He showed up. So
he moved. What did you say? He was the safety?
He came in when Kamal Bonner, when he went to NC State, was
a safety.
recruited as a safety, then grew into a linebacker in a year.
Oh, that's what I like too. You're supposed to move. You're supposed to move down, not back.
Yeah,
supposed to move up, not back.
That's
linebacker to D line.
So that's another thing. People are like, oh, what is it? Like, fam, he went from safety to linebacker and played solid.
It's like Pruitt.
Yeah,
Pruitt a safety.
Pruitt, I think, went up to safety a junior year, but he was a linebacker his senior year.
He moved down. He moved down too.
He moved down, and he was a problem, and he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna see snaps. We focus so much on who the first 22 are. They're gonna rotate that defense, fam. That's one thing. That's one thing they do.
Pruitt reminds me so much of Sean Spence, man. Like
Yeah.
he's like Sean Spence-ish to me,
Yeah.
on the smaller side, but will run and hit your ass because Sean Spence would lay that wood, boy, and he always found a way to avoid the linemen. Always found a way to sneak in and make plays, man. And Pruitt.
I got Bobby Pruitt behind Wes on that outside. I got him as my number 2. If you start building on the depth chart, Daryl Jayford, what's up, brothers? I like Wes on the outside because he can cover. Yeah, I like Wes on the outside too. I mean, maybe Chase Smith might. You know what I'm saying? If finally might all come together and all his injuries are good and play middle. You know what I mean? Then you have an embarrassment of riches there that you didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like now you have a bunch of guys, not just one or two. That's what it's
I know. What we should have is some headhunters on the kickoff team with all these motherfuckers. We should have people knocking heads on that kickoff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, one thing on Bonner real quick, since we're still on linebackers, and I don't know if y'all mentioned this before because it was a show I wasn't on, but there's a bigger connection with Bonner too, right? Coming from Colquitt County. You know who else is from there?
Oh yeah.
Nycar.
Receiver, Nycar.
You know who else is from there? The running back we're targeting. Yeah. So
they all went to the same high school, right?
Chestnut Checkers, boys.
Yeah,
just saying.
I thought you said
chestnut checkers.
I thought
you said
drink or
I could have. I mean,
yeah.
I thought that was the high school, yo. I swear to God, I was like, that's the name of the high school.
The chestnut checkers. Yes,
the chestnut checkers.
I wouldn't play for them. We're not playing for the chestnut checkers.
I was like, where is that at? Chestnut checkers in Colquitt County. That's just
we're not playing for the chestnut checkers.
Yo, man, here comes the chestnut checkers, boys. I don't know what we're gonna do. Cheers to that one. Chestnut checkers. All right, we got it. I don't know if anybody's wearing one, fam. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's wearing one on this. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know anybody wearing one.
I don't think
anybody's wearing one on defense.
Might want to give that a year before you suit up a number 1 again.
yeah. You might want to give that room to breathe. Starflow says, what's word on Bobby Washington?
Man, I be forgetting. Oh, I hope Bobby.
Oh man,
he's becoming. We saw him at practice. He was He was working on the side. He was working on the side. He had the sleeve on.
He might be. Look, man, young people and these surgeries have he might be ready for fall, but just you don't have to play him, yo. Like you know what I'm saying? Let him get his time and Coach Cristobal doesn't rush anybody back. You know what I'm saying? Wait till he's 100%. But yeah, Bobby Washington's again. It's the room. The rooms are looking crazy. All right, Poke, you got that question?
I do. So from Greg King on X at Gregory King Jr. He posed kind of a question, but he says, "Can someone explain to me why no one understands this?" And 2 points he made were, there will never be a salary cap in college because you can't limit earnings. And 2, schools will never be able to pay players because they'd be state employees. So it definitely brings up an interesting conversation. And I know it's one that's all across the college landscape as far as athletics go. So, I mean, I get what he's saying. But as far as like the salary cap, so to speak, quote unquote salary cap. So
it's happening though. What do you mean?
It's happening. The only thing that's slowing it up at this point is being signed off by a judge.
Yeah.
But everything's been agreed upon. So basically what it comes down to is that it's the amount of schools that the amount of revenue schools will receive across the board. And right now it's supposed to be capped at $20.5 million per school. And now how that's distributed is going to be up to the school across all athletics, not just for the football program. So obviously the football program is going to get the biggest cut of the percentage just because they bring the most money to any school, any institution, right? So they're going to get the most cut, and then the schools are going to distribute it to other athletic programs as they see fit and where it's needed. So as far as that cap's concerned, it's at 20.5 million right now, and they expect it to increase up to, I think, 30 million in the coming years. And that's just going to depend on, each and every year and so on and so forth. So, I mean, it's still trying to be quote unquote litigated, but the only thing holding up it is the judge. But I mean, there's a lot of question marks that come with it too if it is approved. So one of those things is being the roster limits. What are we supposed to go to? 105 from 85, right? That's scholarship players. But then what does that do to walk-ons? You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that they're like, well, what about these kids that are there now that are just walk-ons or are only receiving partial scholarships because they've broken it up among players? That's one of the points of contention that's being brought up. I was like, well, if we change the roster size to 105 from 85, then now these players across not just football, but across all sports that are just walk-ons, what does that do for their scholarship or the portion of scholarship they're getting? Do they just now all of a sudden have to, cut bait and good luck? Or
wish you the best in your future.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the biggest points of contention too. It's like, well, what do we do with these? They were promised, so many dollars as far as scholarship goes. It's probably not a full ride because they're walk-ons. But as far as their academics go, not all kids are going to come and be professional athletes. It's just not going to happen. Especially if you come in and walk on, it's very rare you're going to go to the next level from after college. You're mainly there to you've earned a certain part of your athletic skills to become a walk-on, a preferred walk-on at a D1 college. That got you to the point where, now I can really focus on earning that degree and pursuing this career that I really want to go into. But now if roster sizes are cut, what does that do for me? Do I have to now come out of pocket and pay the rest of my tuition? And we all know Miami ain't cheap school. So
I don't think that. I don't expect I'm talking about Miami, but most schools, I don't expect most schools to carry 105 players anyway. You know what I mean? That's going to be the max or the cap or whatever, but
the limit. Yeah,
I don't expect anybody to go to 105. Like it gives you some flexibility when it comes to, how people oversign. So I think what was the limit before? 85, right? So
85, yes, sir.
85 scholarship. 85 scholarship, but you can have as many as you wanted as far as walk-ons go. But with this 105, that's it. Bottom line, 105 done. You can't
correct. So I
can't
expect
have those extras.
People to have their 85 and then go, like you don't have to worry about going over your 85 now, basically.
Right.
Just, you got 95. I over recruited. I got 10 more high school kids or whatever. But I don't expect anybody to go to 105. That's
right.
I don't expect that.
I would expect them to go closer to 95. But yeah, like the walk-on stuff is going to be dicey because maybe you have them. I don't know if you give them like PWO status, preferred walk-on status, but like give them walk-on status and make them sound like a waiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, look, this is the limitation of it. Unless we bring you on to give you a scholarship, like which happens all the time. We've all seen those videos. You know what I'm saying? You want to add them onto the roster, but to keep it a buck. I'm not exactly sure how like the walk-on process happens. Not can they just show up like, hey man, I want to play. Let me get a chance. Put on this helmet real quick. You know what I mean? What that process is when they're risking it without a scholarship, because they can get hurt just like, scholarship players can get hurt and they don't have the NIL or the backing to do it. So I think it's a risk to do it now, especially with, NIL and roster limits and then that whole process. But I'm not sure like the state employees part. I don't know how that's going to happen for a private school like Miami. If I'm keeping it a buck, I'm not 100% clear. Like the Florida State and the Florida State programs, stuff like that. I understand that because they would be state employees in that sense because they're being paid by the school. Then that gets a whole different thing. But I don't know how that affects Miami's players because they're not right. Like it's a private business basically. You know what I'm saying? So like how that affects them, I'm not sure of that whole process. But so I have so many more questions. Even I know we're waiting on the judge's ruling, but I have so many more questions how that's going to be enforced, litigated, followed. Like you know what I'm saying? Like people don't even know how much Miami scholarships are. Again, like we said on the last show, people don't even know where Miami is. I'm saying University of Miami.
Yeah. So as far as the employee thing goes, I mean, I did a little bit of digging on that, and it's actually been brought before the courts already. So it was a player from I can't think. I want to say Georgetown. I could be wrong, but it was a football player from a D1 school. Brought it before the courts. As far as being compensated as being an employee of the school. So it went back and forth. It went to appeals. One court argued that, oh, hey, they're still a quote unquote amateur, so they don't fall under the Fair Labor Standards Act or whatever, because they're an amateur status. And they were comparing it to like an intern. Like, say, you go to college and then you have an internship where,
Right.
you learn the trade or whatever you're going into. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went to an appeals court, and the appeals court said, nah, they're not really an intern. They're kind of their own entity, and they should be considered employees of the school. So that's now where it's at, where you have one court saying, like, oh yeah, they are employees, they should be compensated, blah blah blah, and the other court saying no, they shouldn't, because they're still quote unquote amateur.
Yeah, but
so
that's being challenged as we speak.
Absolutely is being challenged. So there's two kinds of standards that are met. One, I mean, and I'm not getting to all the legal jargon behind it because I really don't understand it, and it's a lot. But there's two different standards that compare either whether you should be an intern or not, and there's like two different things. And one court said, oh, we should follow this one. The other one says this one. So now that's the point of contention there, and it's being litigated. As far as I personally agree that they should be considered employees and should be compensated. I think we all agree to that part too. But then I think another point that was brought up was, as far as the cap goes, it's like, oh, well, now employees, well, we can't put a cap on, you can't limit earnings on an employee. I understand that portion, and the players should be compensated for their
There's
efforts.
a salary cap in professional sports,
right? The cap falls under the school, the total of what each school can quote unquote pay.
Right.
As far as NIL goes, there's no cap on NIL. It's just what the school itself can pay. So the NIL, the student athletes are free to go outside of their own to engage in other NIL opportunities outside of what the school is able to provide. So there's no cap on that. So, say, a 5-star quarterback, he's going to get, say $1.5 million from the school as far as NIL goes, but then he can, through his agents or whoever,
so a base salary in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So he can go out and get other NIL endorsements, sponsorships, whatever on top of that. And that's, there's obviously no cap on that. Like Joe said, it's like you have salary caps in professional sports, but then you have all these athletes doing endorsements for different products and brands and things like that are outside of.
I think you had to go either way with it. Like, I think you could have went the other way, in which, no schools are going to pay. You're going to get your NIL like it was intended to be in the beginning. Because in the beginning, it was intended for you to get, it was intended for athletes to get NIL the traditional way. You go get your NIL from a company, from Smoothie King or McDonald's,
a car dealership.
That was the intent. Schools weren't supposed to be involved in that, but now with this situation, they're really gonna have to rein it in, man, because as it's currently constructed, it's very messy.
It's very messy, because
messy.
like you said, the initial idea of the whole thing was to get a cut of the revenue that the school's bringing in, because these guys are playing. They're supposed to get a cut of that. They're jersey sales with their names on them. The biggest one was the video game thing. That was, I think, the biggest one. That was the whole start of it. Who was it? Ed O'Bannon at UCLA, who pretty much started the whole thing, because what was he? The cover of NCAA basketball, right? Yeah, and then it's like, oh well, it's like you're using me, my actual picture, my name on the cover of this, and I'm not getting anything from it. So
what it became was never was never what it was meant to be, ever.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Like,
I don't know how I feel about Nick Saban and Donald Trump and all those guys being involved in this. Like, Nick Saban, I guess, but I just feel like it's always going to benefit the SEC. Like I just feel like it's always going to benefit the SEC, and then everyone else is, it trickles down. So I just feel like they're going to do what's best for the SEC conference, and then everybody else.
With Nick Saban being such an advocate for this needs to be reined in, screams like, "Yo, I set all this shit on fire. Now come help me." Like we don't. Hey man, like yo man, real quick. I know I did all this because Tuscaloosa was such an appealing place. You know what I'm saying? Like we were paying people way before. Now everybody's paying. I can't get the players I used to get. This has got to be stopped. Don't quote me. The moment there's some parameters put on this, some legal, some legal stuff, he comes right back.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same thing when Tennessee got 133 charges of breaking NCAA rules. It'll get swept under the rug. It'll be everybody else is punishable by it, but SEC will be protected from it. At the end of the day, with him being the biggest advocate of it, just makes sense. He'll go right back. He's still got an office in Alabama, fam. It's not like he really left. He still probably got the bigger office than over Kalen DeBoer. Yeah, man, it's so confusing, yo. It's so confusing. I don't know.
And a couple last points I want to bring up as far as the student athletes being considered employees. It goes way beyond just paying them, right?
Yeah.
So a couple of points that have to be considered, like what comes after. Okay. So you have minimum wage liabilities that they have to be concerned with. You have past students wanting to file class action lawsuits like, oh, well, we played just last year and we didn't get compensated.
Facts.
Overtime. How is overtime going to be compensated? You have all the hours spent watching film, practicing, training, off season, all those things. You have the Title IX requirements. Like, how are you going to separate equal pay across the board?
Yep.
Employee benefits. Are they going to be entitled to benefits?
When do we get our first college football strike? Is what the question I'm asking. Because
how much does the NIL compensate towards their compensation, or like how much do they count towards their compensation?
When they become employees, how do they file their taxes? Like
exactly,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's a process too. Because real quick, keeping it a buck.
If a kid gets cut or is told to walk, can now they come back and file a lawsuit for
being wrongful termination?
Wrongful termination, right?
Yeah.
Can they claim unemployment benefits? There's a whole slew of stuff that have to be considered with this thing. So it's definitely a mess, man. I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad.
Wow. Man, I'm glad we just talk about it and then move on to the next thing, because we don't have to worry about we don't have to litigate none of this, man. None of this.
Absolutely. Oh, what a nightmare.
Oh, it's terrible. I said one of them didn't say Ohio State, and after that gets fired. Now he's not going to Ohio State. It's SEC or nothing for him, man. He'll get another job in the SEC.
I like how you called him Die.
Maybe.
And not Day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what his name is. That's what we refer to. That's what we refer to him here on. So I was like, everyone needs a 40-hour block of contract law. Yeah, man. It's gonna. I don't understand how they're gonna do it, man. I don't. But that's for people who get paid the money to figure out these things out. So best of luck to them. Best of luck to them, man. They'll figure it out. State employees and all this stuff. Who knows? All right, man. Let's get into this Caneswear ad real quick, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Yo, Hoodie Girl says, Poke did some intense show prep. I'm impressed. He did. He did. And he did that all while grilling and drinking.
Are you looking at notes right now?
Well, a couple.
Yeah.
My guy was ready.
Notes.
This guy was ready. What's the word on Big Ten's new bylaws? Look who it is. Couldn't tell you, Star. I have no idea what the Big Ten does. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we have the accreditation. We need to join it if we need to. If we can't get out of this ACC with a better commissioner. Look who it is. It's 39 minutes late, guys.
Whoa, right on time.
Smash the like button. Yeah, man. Smash the like button. Like, subscribe, share all that. Remember, we're a podcast. We're available wherever you get them. Leave us a 5-star review. Helps grow the show. Big Papa says, "What up, fam? Rock Hill in the house."
All right. Hey, you by me, man. What's going on?
Probably catch him at a game sometime this season.
Yeah.
This season, you know what I'm saying? Be outside.
Rock Hill, South Kakalaki. Yep.
Let's do it. Joey, you had a question that you posted to the group. You know what I'm saying, which was yes, you did. You don't remember what kind of nap did you take, man?
Ask it, so what do you mean? Oh, I did. Okay, are we ready? Yeah, I didn't know we were ready for that, right? Yeah. So what side do you want to take, man? Listen, Miami. You know, I think the roster's pretty set for this season. Unless somebody special jumps in, that's a grad transfer. Mm-hmm. I think we're pretty set, man. So
wait,
why?
Before you start, we didn't get Pokesman out. You know what I'm saying? He was under the weather. Didn't get your thoughts on what your thoughts and feelings were. Is that a Cheeto, fam? Is that a Cheeto you just? Okay, all right. You're the CB replacement today. Got it.
Yeah, I had to look out for my guy.
If he's not here, he's always with us. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our guy CB. What are your thoughts on the portal as a whole for what Miami did?
What grade do you give it?
Yeah,
what grade?
Yeah,
B. I say a B. Borderline B+ for me.
Okay.
Because we're going back. We're talking about
the whole
before spring and then up until now, right?
Spring, yep.
Yeah. I would say a B+ then.
So. Xavier Lucas puts it at that B+, right?
Him and Carson Beck, I think both bring it up to the B+. The biggest thing for me was addressing the issue that needed to be addressed, and that was a secondary.
Yep.
So
100%.
I would have gone higher, but it's still one of those things like it's a wait and see, especially on the defensive side of the ball. New coordinator, new staff, new players, how everything meshes together, how everybody's able to play together. That's the only holdup. So,
yeah, I've been still thinking about this since implementation, man. Since we got Muhammad Torre, it seems like we got players that have to prove it, are in prove it mode. You know, they for whatever reason, like Muhammad Torre coming off of 2 ACLs, CJ Daniels coming off the injury. The heel. Charles Brantley, I believe, was coming off a little injury.
Yep.
A foot or something.
Yeah.
Keontae
Scott, you know, with
down year last year.
Yeah, the down year. It's like, you know, a lot of guys that for whatever reason the previous last year or a couple years had issues for whatever reason, you know. So
I mean, Carson doesn't really have
that can be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, Carson doesn't really have anything to prove. He's just coming off the injury.
Yeah, he's coming.
I think with Keontae Scott though, last year was like kind of a down year, right?
Yeah.
He was 2 years.
He played for who? Etheridge, right?
He played like his first year is when he played nickel.
Auburn. He played at Auburn, right?
And he got busy. Yeah, he got busy, and then he moved to the boundary.
Yeah, which he asked for.
Yeah.
And then that's where he struggled. Okay. Went to Houston for the spring. Etheridge left. Probably came in because of Etheridge. And he followed him again.
Well, did he have his best year under Etheridge? Is what I was getting at.
Yeah. Yep. And playing nickel, you know. So, and that could be a good thing, right? Everybody has something to prove. Everybody's trying to go to the league.
Yeah.
Well, everybody has something to prove. So that's a good thing. So the question is, why can't? We'll start with can't. Why can't Miami win the ACC this year and make the college football playoff? I won't say can't. Okay. Why won't they? Why won't they
Okay.
win?
Well,
So
Joey
we'll
asked
go around. We'll
Joey
go
asked-
around. Yeah.
Joey asked a question. I just talked for way too long. So,
Yeah.
Benny, this is
Go ahead,
on you.
Ben. Yeah, we'll go around.
Yeah.
Go around.
Yeah, so why won't
Couple
Miami
things.
win the ACC?
Yeah.
Because of what Polk just brought up. The thing, too many pieces got brought in the offseason. It doesn't all quite work. They need a couple games together to figure out the rhythm. And that could cost them a game in the ACC. And then they're on the, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like a win everything mode, and they have another falter late in the season, ends them 6-2, and the ACC, and they miss the ACC championship.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that Louisville Friday game, because I think it goes Florida, bye week Florida State, bye week Louisville, right? So you dog walk Florida State because they're a horrible football team, right, in every way, and you get a little confident, and Louisville comes in better coached, and you're not quite sure how to respond because you're trying to figure out. My question when like the portal stuff is like you're still trying to figure out all the pieces, and not just the pieces, but the personalities, right? Because in practice is one thing. When shit getting crazy, you know what I'm saying? When things aren't going right, how are you going to respond with people you didn't know 6 months ago? And this is not a Miami-specific problem. This is not a Miami-specific issue. Everybody does the portal, right? Not every single team. Some people get less, some people get more, depending on their requirements. That would be my only question is, if it doesn't all mesh together, a Carson Beck isn't fully healthy, isn't fully ready to go, and then where do you go to you know what I'm saying? Like, we're saying worst case scenario type shit. So Carson Beck is healthy, but gets hit one play wrong and misses a couple games, could be the difference in the ACC, right? So that would be the only reason for me, because that's like you talked about it earlier, Joe. I think yesterday when you were watching Duke, that defense was so bad. I can't fathom that, you know, as of right now, that defense being so bad. I can't fathom them being as bad or worse than they were last year. So I expect them to get better, and I know the trenches are gonna be trenchiest, dog. So this just though Carson Beck being a factor and all those pieces, not
trenches,
trenchiest of trenches, trench. You know what I'm saying? That would be my thing. Carson Beck not being 100 at some point, and that secondary figuring it all out, because that is a brand new secondary for the most part. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have Lucas, Keontae Scott. You're going to have 2 new safeties, probably in Jacoby Thomas and Zach Poyser, and OJ Frederick or Damari Brown on the other side, depending on the day.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? For the most part, that's only one starter coming over. And then likely 2 new linebackers, or one, you know what I'm saying, 1 new linebacker on that side, depending if West gets that nod. That's a lot. That's a lot of new pieces. But again, they all play football, and they got to figure it out. And that's the coach's job to get it together.
They have all summer.
All summer. And they're all there.
I wish they would have came in the spring, though. That's one of the things. Yeah, that could help, you know, but they didn't.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Polk. Well, you have anything else, or
why won't they? Why won't they?
Yeah.
Why won't they win the ACC? Not make it to Charlotte. Why won't they win the ACC?
Well, I mean, the chat has kind of hinted at it already, and it was kind of the direction I was going. But let's say, okay, Carson Beck's 100% healthy. He's good to go. Mm-hmm. Defense is all on the same page. They're buttoned up. They're tied up. They're good to go. They're performing at an elite level. The trenches, we know what they are. They can do what they can do.
The trenchiest of trenches.
The trenchiest. The young wide receivers are what we expected, and maybe are right there on par with what we're expecting them to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come down to coaching. There's going to be has that not been an issue? Has that not been an issue? Have we been able to win that game that we need to win to move to the next level? Facts. And orange and green colored glasses off, and this is very hard for me to do. I very rarely do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
I think that's why we don't win the ACC.
Coaching on the offensive side is pretty.
He's talking about the coach.
I'm talking about the guy.
The guy.
Because it's a brand new defense. It's a brand new defensive, and I think there might be a slight bit of overstepping that might happen. We saw it on the offense, right?
I like
Couple
this.
years
Let's stay
ago?
right here. I love this shit. I love this.
A couple of years ago, we saw it on offense.
Yeah.
We see what happened the following year when Cam comes in. It's kind of taken a step back, and Dawson was allowed to do his thing. I think that continues because he proved what he could do. Now, I think with a new staff, I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think there's a little bit of a power struggle that's going to have to be like, oh, I have to show that I am the guy and everything runs through me.
But I have a question. If
an overcorrection, you're saying an overcorrection?
Well, I don't know much of overcorrection. I just think overstepping, putting too much undue influence into the defense that shouldn't be, rather than letting the DC handle his business and do his job.
My question is, if that didn't happen this past season, why would that? If that needed to happen, it should have been this past season. If that didn't happen then, why would it happen now?
Well, okay. I think well, we saw what the defense did last year. I don't think enough.
You should have stepped all in that mother.
I 100% agree, and I don't think it happened. That's
bro,
the point I'm trying to make.
You can't set the
That's
edge.
The point I'm trying to make.
You can't set the room. Get out of here.
So you're saying because it didn't happen, it's going to definitely.
He's going to make sure it doesn't happen this time.
Yeah.
And I think there could be some overstepping there. I think there could be some overstepping there, though.
Yeah. Okay. I get that's a good point.
All right. Let me put my orange and green glasses back on. So.
All right, but let me follow up with that real quick. I think that's not my opinion. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing that he's more involved instead of being hands off. Doesn't mean he like, yo, man, this is what you need to do. Like, be more, you know what I'm saying? Like, helping that side where, like, you could tell, and look, we don't know, man. Just me assuming, like, you could kind of look at it and be like, yo, he didn't step in on that defense side at all. You know what I'm saying? When conversations needed to be had that we thought needed to be had. For us, that conversation was like, hey, coach, you got to go, dog. We're going to move somebody up. You know what I'm saying? You could be like in name only. You could be like or some shit. We could pay you out for the rest of the year because we don't want to look at crazy, and we'll place you somewhere. Maybe a defensive analyst at Louisiana State University and get you up out of here. But those steps needed to be taken last year. So being more involved in it so it doesn't happen again where he has more not more say, but like has more input on every side of the ball isn't necessarily a bad thing. He is the coach. He is the HC. But I think being hands off was more the problem last year on that defensive side. Because you could tell your line how to set an edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, what were those conversations like? I think that's where it could be different. I think he'll be more open to going into those rooms and having those conversations because last year was so bad. Right? I've tried to rewatch games from last year. That defense was otherworldly atrocious.
I was watching. I think it could go both ways, man. Like, if I don't want you interfering if you really don't know what's going on with defense.
Right.
Like, for real. Not saying he does, man, because he's a football coach. Like, he's been in this game for a long time.
Whole life. His entire life.
Yeah, definitely. But some people are offensive guys or O-line guys or receiver guys. It's just what it is. They don't want to be involved on the other side of the defense. You have to be, because as a position coach, offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, you got to know what's going on the other side of the ball. You have to. Yep. It hurts. It helps tremendously to know. But I think I think Jason Taylor is a big key because he kept him. So I think the expectation is that Jason Taylor is kind of like the second coach over there, kind of like the second.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Co-DC maybe over there
to
help out, because that was one of the concerns when we hired Coach Heatherman, is that he's only been a DC for 1 year, right? Or 2 years, was it? 1, 2?
1 full year.
So that was definitely a concern for me, and that you needed older guys in that room that can help out, So I don't know. For me, why we can't, there's a couple of reasons for me. Again, like we're saying, like Polk was saying, if everything is okay, right? Everything, Carson Beck is cool, the wide receivers are playing cool, defense is, doing what they're supposed to do. If all things are even, I don't feel like we have enough team speed to be elite and compete with the rest of the country, with the elites.
Right.
And first of all, the only other elite team in this conference is Clemson, right?
Yep.
I don't feel like we have enough team speed to compete with Clemson or whoever's going to be in the playoff. I just don't think I just don't see it anywhere. We may have improved it on defense with the linebacker additions and some of the DBs. I don't know. But offensively, I don't see it. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it. And the kicking game, I don't know. If we have a couple close games, we don't have a Borregales kicking.
They're out of them. I think they got a cousin left, but that's it.
Yeah. We don't have a Borregales. Yeah. We don't have that cushion.
No more. They could only have so many
field goal time. I was like, oh yeah, we good money. It's nothing.
Yeah, ain't even a worry. Ain't even a thought.
Now, I don't know. And look, the kicker from Texas isn't bad, man. He's really.
I mean, he hasn't missed an extra point, so
he hasn't made.
We're good there.
Extra points.
We're good there.
And kicking is like putting, right? You're in your head, man. Everything gets quiet, and you got to sink this putt. Kicking is like that. So maybe his mind gets right. He gets a couple Miami mommies to calm him down, and he's ready. But I don't know if I trust.
I don't think that often works how you think it works.
Right, because when I did that, I broke my leg the next day. But we're not going to talk about it. Okay, yes. Special teams as a whole, really, because I special teams I haven't been impressed with in a while, even though we got an All-American returner. I'm happy about that. But I watched the Duke game, a Wake Forest game, and a Louisville game where they all had kick returns.
Yep.
And 3 of those games for touchdowns.
For touchdowns.
Right?
It's all the way back. Yeah.
Wake Forest.
We haven't had one in a minute.
Duke and Louisville.
Yeah.
That's out of I don't know,
I don't know what to do with that. Yeah.
That's not what's up. Yeah. So
and we still don't have a special teams coach, right? That's one thing we have.
I don't know.
Yeah,
probably not.
So those are the two concerns for me about why. Okay.
He just grabbed some analysts and said, "Hey, go coach special teams."
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did when I was coaching a couple of years ago. They needed somebody to coach the golf team. I had no clue. Like,
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out as we go.
Things, man. Hey, Google Gemini. How do I coach golf?
I got to play.
What are the words
golf.
to say?
I got to play golf for free all year. So I mean,
that's not bad.
That was fine with me.
Let's figure it out.
Carter Davis is on this team, so he can just kick it out of the end zone every time. We're gonna need
that'll work. Hopefully that happens.
I'm totally cool with that. I am totally cool with that. Yeah.
All right.
Peanut says, I agree. We don't have to this year to compete with anyone. We take a step back for sure.
We don't have it this year. What do you mean have it? I'm not saying anything. We have talent. I'm just saying the speed.
Yeah, I think what he was saying was we're not as good as we think we are because without Cam we lose 3 or 4 year.
I don't
step back
this
year.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that at all.
I think the offense is going to be just fine.
I think the sky is falling.
I mentioned team speed, but it's more team. Like I said, team speed. No, we don't have the receiver that's going to blow the top off. Nycar could potentially be that, but we didn't have that last year, at all.
And we did okay.
Yeah, we did okay. But I'm looking at again. I watch games, and I'm watching Wake Forest run past everybody in the secondary, man. Like Duke guys running past, and nobody can catch them. Like that's wild to me.
Yeah,
that's wild.
They look like they were running in sand. a lot
Man.
on that defensive side.
That's wild. That's wild.
Well, I mean, the step back was inevitable, just because
Yeah.
of what we lost. So
Yeah, absolutely.
You
but I think
lose
I think what we gained and what we picked up, obviously not going to replace what we lost, but it's going to pay dividends.
Yeah, you
So,
lose
I mean,
6 of your top receivers, you're gonna have to replace them, and you know what I'm saying,
Right.
they're not gonna all be X. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's a given.
right? That
But
and a Heisman finalist and a number 1 overall draft pick too. So
exactly, like that factors in too, man. Like that also happened.
So that
right,
being
Joey?
said, how do we win the ACC, right, Joe?
Correct. How do we? So, Poke, you can go
How
first.
do we?
Poke, you can go first.
How do we? I think.
Hold on. Did you put the glasses back on?
Yeah, the glasses are definitely back on.
That's all right.
They're
You're about to hear everything
They're
now.
back on now.
Glasses back on.
Get ready. The
fans. We're gonna win because of the fans, baby.
The fans, baby, the fans, and the moonshine. But no, maybe the cane Kool-Aid too. But the biggest factor for me is going to be the health of Carson Beck. If he's 100% good to go, I think he runs the offense almost to a T, because he's been given pretty much carte blanche when it comes to the offense, as far as being able to change up plays, being able to run what he wants to run. And I think the level at which he can play, and which we've all seen him play, and the experience he brings in, I think that's just going to make the young receivers that much better overall, as far as being able to play with a guy who's been there, who's done it, who's competed at the highest level in college, being in the SEC for the past 2 years. Plus, he's going to be behind probably a line that he hasn't been behind before. He didn't have that last year. He didn't have the elite receiving core that Georgia should have had last year. Plus the stable of running backs we have now. I think you're going to see a completely different offense, being the fact that it's not being a Cam Ward run offense. But I think the health of Carson Beck and him being 100% is going to be the standard at which Miami can compare itself to, and how far they're going to go, and whether or not they're going to win the ACC.
Yeah.
So for me, it's going to all come down to Carson Beck.
Hinges on Carson.
Yep.
Hinges on Carson.
I honestly believe the defense is going to be a complete 180 from last year. Just bringing in the pieces that we have as far as the secondary is concerned, and bringing in a new coach with a different outlook on how the defense should be run. And I think he is more in tune with letting the guys play to their abilities and what they're able to do, rather as last year I felt like they were kind of confined to almost playing in a phone booth. It's like, hey, here are the parameters you have to play within. So I think that's going to be a huge difference.
Yeah, that's definitely vital. The quarterback position, obviously, as we witnessed last season with Cam Ward, that's a vital position, man. Cam Ward changed the whole dynamic of the offense in one season. So Carson Beck has the opportunity to do the same thing. No, I think some of the explosive plays will be down. Explosive plays will be down a little bit, but I still think there'll be plenty of explosives. I don't think we'll be the number one offense in the country, but we could be. Not saying we can't be.
Right.
I don't think it will be. But I think we'll be more balanced on offense.
Well, you can't get better.
Yeah,
it was the number one offense. You can't get better than number one. The only place to go is down.
Yeah, and I think, you look to the side, man, and thought somebody was coming to get you, brother.
Fam, I don't know what. Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Hold on, this got me. Hold on, This has just got me.
What?
No, not that one. This one.
One more.
The chuckling.
One more internet. Yeah,
that's
what it be like sometimes. That's what it be like sometimes. That's at the beginning, fam. At the beginning, that's what it was. It was very.
I remember. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, it was rough. I heard everything y'all were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, man, it's the trenches again, man. The trenches go anywhere. The trenches can travel anywhere. I did mention Clemson as being the only other team that can compete, which I feel that way. And that's how you beat Clemson. That's how you go to the ACC and beat Clemson. That's in the trenches, So the running game, we solidified that running back room with the Mr.
Shamar
Brown.
Brown.
Yes. So that running game should be outstanding, and that should help the passing game. Because you're going to get a lot of one-on-ones on the outside. You're going to get a lot of teams trying to stack the box, and they think they're going to win one-on-one on the outside, and that's where Elijah Lofton comes in. That's where JoJo comes in. That's where CJ Daniels comes in. That's where whoever's in the slot wins. You have to win your one-on-ones. So, and on the defensive line, the defensive trenches, the same way. You got to stop the run. Stop the run, rush the passer, Protect the passer, run the ball. So I think, again, as we look throughout college football, trenches, Ohio State's trenches last year was crazy. Penn State's
the national
trenches.
title.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. You have to have trenches. So I think we have that. So I think that gets us over the hump again. About you, man.
Yeah. I think the way people perceive Carson Beck has gotten a little crazy. Like if you just look it up and if you look at the superficial things of like, yes, he did have a statistical down year, but when you look at the fact that his receivers dropped 31 balls last year. Now, as a quarterback, I don't know how that impacts you when you're throwing the ball to guys who you don't trust who you don't trust to catch it. I'm sure you're gonna press and might overfeed a guy that you do trust, and you're gonna, our schemes and defenses and stuff like that. Look, we say that they're gonna run lean on the run, and we have two great to good running backs and one up and comer and a former national champion. You're gonna rely on that, of course, because Mario always, relies on the trenches. But I think Carson Beck is gonna just be like, we forget, last year Carson Beck was the number one quarterback, projected to be the number one draft pick, and people all of a sudden are rating him the fourth best quarterback in the ACC. Like, what? He still took Georgia to the SEC championship with that offense. He still broke his arm and was, and Georgia finished the job and was the SEC champion last year. Like, that just gets passed over because he had 12 interceptions and 28 touchdowns. That's rough, but that still happened, right? He still led that team. And
that's not even that bad. Like, people are acting like he still threw for like 3,500 yards and
people acting like he had 17 and 13. People acting like he had, like 10, 15 and 15. Like, he just couldn't get the ball. He still balled out. Like, that's a great, like, we got spoiled that we had Cam Ward. Yes, you take Cam Ward factor out of it. That's a great Hurricane season by any other quarterback. By any other season. Yes, we were spoiled last year. Take that shit off for a second. There's no, maybe Virginia Tech in November. There's no atmosphere that he's gonna play in that he's gonna blink in. It's not gonna. There's nothing that, there's nothing like that. I think Carson Beck is another guy that has a lot to prove. So why they win the ACC? Carson Beck. And on the defensive side, Ruben Bain. Because motherfuckers, like, fam, he was hurt last year. He wasn't 100% all year. And people are acting like he's not that good. Y'all saw that PFF grade we retweeted? Still one of the best defensive linemen in the country, even with a down year. And we just forgetting that then you added monsters around him and you have young beasts behind him. The trenches are going to be nasty. So Carson Beck is the reason why. And I think, look, we have a receiving core that we don't know much about. We can't make stuff up about it. But if you trust Kevin Beard, you know he's going to have those. So you have, I'm saying, like, it's going to be.
Oh, he in the Matrix.
People. Am I in the Matrix?
In the Matrix.
Your Walmart internet.
Yeah. Them cats walking around
It's not
Walmart
fun,
trying
man.
to sign you up for service. Hey, bro, who's your internet provider, fam?
Yeah. I just spun out.
Who you got for
I
internet,
just spun out.
dog?
Am I back?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
God.
you good.
I was just Carson back before my internet goes to shit again.
Oh, you back?
I'm
No,
back.
you back. You back in the Matrix.
This is all your
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah. Who
That's
you got
fine.
for internet, champ? Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you about who you. Yeah. Let me talk to you real quick.
Y'all can talk and
that's
not just not for me.
Yeah, you in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Y'all can talk.
That's old. Oh, that's
you don't have to
that's
wait for
old.
me to
In the
respond.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
All right, backing up, man. Beard still has a lot to prove. We're developing functional wide receivers that work in Dawson's system, but not elite ones. Yeah, what I mean,
they haven't had a chance to prove that they're elite yet either.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's easy to say that they're not elite right now, and I agree with you, but it's kind of a wait and see thing. So same thing with Carson Beck's not projected a first rounder this year. Well, neither was Cam Ward at the beginning of the last season. So
yeah, and that's why
Carson Beck has that potential 100% because he was going into the beginning of last season. They had him as a number one. All right, number one, but a first round draft pick. So
right, James. Yeah, that's crazy, man. And Carson Beck, none of these ACC atmospheres are gonna do anything to him.
No, they're not going to phase him at all.
Right,
He's played at the highest of high.
Moment.
So, and he's played well in
It's
it.
a good point, Papa, Big Papa, man. Clemson may have a better 22, but I think we have a better 44. That they haven't recruited. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, brother. You know what I mean? I agree with that actually, because they talk about Clemson's D line, and yes, the first four are crazy.
Nasty.
Peter Woods, Cape Hart. I forgot the guy on the outside. He's a senior. He came back. He could have went to the league. They got the first four, but that's second crazy. Mo with the no. We will control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball without beast O line and D line. JoJo will prove he's top of it. I hope so. That's the hope, right? I'm not worried about the trenches. The trenches are gonna trench. JoJo, we waiting. We're waiting. I'm waiting.
All we've done is here.
Yep, I'm waiting, brother. I am waiting. Yes.
And I hope we do. I really hope we do.
Yep.
Potential's there, 100%.
Yep.
Bagging up says JoJo is a slot.
Oh, he'd be so nasty in the slot.
I would love to see it.
He would be so nasty in the slot.
To see it.
Then who do you put on the outside?
CJ
and Josh Moore. Let's the freshmen eat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can play outside too, so
yeah,
I
would love to see it.
I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah, we'll see, man. It's
16 Saturdays. Is that all it is?
Oh,
right?
Did we drop what we supposed to drop?
16 Saturdays from now, I think is.
Oh yeah, pull it up, Joe. Pull it up. I don't want to do it because my internet might die.
Hold on, brother. Yeah,
we
got
we have the newest installment.
Yes, absolutely.
Joey's pulling up the screen.
I don't see it though. Yes, I do. Why is it at the bottom?
You see it?
That's crazy. Can we place it at the?
When you say we, do you just mean can I place it? Because I don't think you've ever been on the website with my
I'm on the website
internet.
all the time, champ. I just don't know. I'm on the website all the time.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where like I don't have Instagram, but we. So I say we a lot.
We.
Wait, man, I'm on there all the time. Oh, my bad.
All right, man. Look,
the newest edition, baby, right there.
Brother. Yeah, man. Look at it. Clean as a whistle.
There it is.
Clean as a whistle. Look at that.
Newest installment of the Legends line.
Yes.
The one and only, the GOAT, Sean Taylor.
GOAT. Yes. Look at that.
sir.
Oh, clean. Ooh, look at the orange. Hey, man, listen. Yes. Gotta cop it, man. Cop it.
On the website live right now.
Yes, it's on the website live right now. Fire.
And those are the little bit of a more heavier duty type material cotton, kind of like a heavyweight, so to speak. So they fit a little looser. You can wear them wherever. They're not like the thinner type, gym type shirts or anything like that. So they're good for any occasion, really.
Yep.
Super comfortable, super soft,
man.
too.
Scan the barcode for merch. It wasn't working earlier, but it's all good now.
We got to figure it out.
It was taking us to Asian.
You don't got to tell them where.
Asian.
Nope.
Okay, never mind. All right.
No. No, don't be putting that out there. Don't be putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? That's where it gets real dicey.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Marley. Definitely, man. I'm about to go back hard on Insta, and wifey's got the TikTok up. You know. So
we do now have the You Heard TikTok is up.
Yeah, you got that. What's that link? I don't know that link to the TikTok joint. I have no idea how TikTok even works. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you, man. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
The link,
I'm sure you just search You Heard on TikTok and you can find it.
Is there a limit? Nah, there's no limit, Juan.
No. There's no limit, Juan. There's no limit per customer.
And listen, we're dropping something every 2 weeks until the season starts.
Yep. So
we started at 20 weeks. We have 10 legends to drop, and we're dropping them every 2 weeks, man. So we all decide who's gonna be next, and we drop it. We had to get Sean T out there, man, and get it on. Adam.
Shout out to Adam, man. Appreciate you.
So we'll figure out who's gonna be next, or maybe we put a poll up.
Maybe we put a poll up. Yeah,
maybe
we can do that.
Maybe we put a poll up. Yeah, maybe we put a poll up. Legend, we got the Hoodie Girl Legends tee. Facts. You come out with the Hoodie Girl Legends tee. Yeah,
that needs to happen. Yeah.
And look, Hoodie Girl has hoodies as well, man.
Yeah, about the fans. Check them out.
Yeah, hoodie. If you put the link in the chat, man, we can put it up.
We can make sure we put it up there. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, check out our boy AB. Support AB. He's got some fire gear out there. So he's got
way too many conversations about fonts.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? It's AB. Yeah, okay. AB. It's on AB. So yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. Yeah. Man.
About the fan search Hoodie Girl. Yeah, man. Look, we definitely don't see right now. Obviously, hurricane glasses on. We definitely don't see a world where Miami's not in Charlotte. I
my tickets again.
You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely there. You go. Code HG10, you get a 10% off your total purchase at About the Fans, man. Go check them out. That's good people, man. Shout out to AB. Me and him have way too many conversations about fonts. Way too many. You know what I'm saying? That's the debate all the time. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all got anything else? Is my internet good, or am I still in the, you know what I'm saying?
It looks better.
Them hamsters about to work now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave them, I don't know if I could say meth. You know what I'm saying? I gave them that Breaking Bad, yo. I gave them that Breaking Bad.
Up before it stops. Before they stop.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate y'all so much for dealing with my internet. And I don't know what was happening in my house. That was crazy. For my guy Joe, right here. For my guy Joe, Poke. I got CB's probably eating all the chips in his house. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be good. We up out of here, man. Catch y'all Wednesday. You Heard is out. Peace.
Thanks for watching. You heard. Thanks for listening. We appreciate y'all. You already know every Wednesday, 6 o'clock. You already know every Sunday. Right on time.